veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say.
Welcome back. Panel recap. Married at First Sight, season 16, episode 21, the final decision. How you ladies doing today?
Ready to get in there.
Yeah. You know I'm hot. You know our green room meeting, I was smoking, I was saying some things that I'll never normally say. Oh my goodness, I'm hot. I'm excited. I'm hot, but I'm a calm down.
She was lit up.
I was lit. I was lit. Oh, that dang old Shaq. That's all right, Shaq. I got something for you today, though, baby. I got something for you today. Even Mocha Mima said, Shaq. But welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Happy Sunday. Mocha says she keeping her Christian demeanor about herself and staying calm and cool and collected. She says happy Sunday, and let's get those thumbs up, please. Please and thank you. Let's get those thumbs up. And Mocha Mima, we want to welcome in Mocha Mima Media now. She done changed her name. She done got so big.
Big time.
Big time. On this Sunday morning, we want to welcome in.
Yep, you see it.
I see it. You growing like wildflower. And I tell you, when I'm over there on your lines, they are lit. So y'all don't miss out on Mocha Mima. Go over there. If you haven't subscribe now, because Mocha Mima Media is lit. You hear me? All right now. How are you guys doing out there, out in our audience and our chat? Tell me where you are, if you can. Tell me where you are, what state, what country, and what's the weather doing where you are right now. I have a girlfriend, by the way, that lives in Australia. I don't know if she's on this live right now, but she tells me that in Australia, when it's spring here, it's 6 months later there. So I guess it's fall now. And when we get into our dead of summer here, it will be wintertime there. So just want to say that, just want to throw that in there for facts. So, oh yeah, Journey. Thank you, Journey with Kiki. I will be here for it. I know that's right, girl, because this is going to be lit. But okay, we might as well go ahead and kick this show off and get it started. You know how we do it. We're going to start with our least of these, and then we're going to move into the most of these, right? So, okay, of course, we have to bring up this couple because they didn't really bring it. They didn't really bring it this season. They didn't bring it, but that's okay, because Clinty Pooh, as Kimberly Reviews would say, Clinty Pooh, that's my boy. Now, Clinty Pooh and a couple of others this season, they came for love. They came for the right reasons. They came with a pure heart. I'm not saying these people are perfect. Clinty Pooh is certainly not perfect, but Clinty Pooh really wanted love. He really wanted love. And you know what? He may or may not have just made a good friend in Gina, but I don't know, because we're going to find out later on in the episode when we talk about another couple. We're going to find out what kind of tomfoolery Gina was up to this season, right? But we'll start with you, Roro. What do you have to say about Clint and Gina and their decision to call it quits?
Well, I mean, they came across as, mutually agreed and all of that, and, no hard feelings. Right. She felt like the experience changed her life for the better. And, she learned.
I'm trying to drink my tea. Don't make me spit my tea.
Well, I'm sorry, but that's how she, I have to say it like it is. I have to put the inflection like it belonged. She was fake and phony. She feel like this experience really showed her that she's ready to be married now.
I'm ready to be married with those duck lips. I'm ready to be married. No. I'm gonna make somebody a good wife. Maybe I want to give it away yet. Okay, go ahead.
I don't believe it for a second. Like I said before, she was committing adultery with that salon because that's the only thing that she's married to. Okay.
Ooh, that's a good one. Committing adultery
Gina, she was committing adultery with her salon because that's the only thing that she's married to. That's the only thing that she loved, that she have any feelings for, that she can get hot for, is that salon. Okay. So she was committing adultery with the salon. So Clint is, he dodged the bullet, even though he says he's walking away with a few things, a dog, immense gratitude, and a lot of happiness in his life. Really?
Mm-hmm.
He's happy now? Okay. So, and he has a couple of candidates to move forward with. I wonder who he's talking about.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, now. We may find out. We may find out very soon.
Yep, I think so. I think we're gonna find out next week, probably.
Yes, I think so too. I think we getting ready to see some things. Oh Lord, girl, you got me cackling over here committing adultery. I'm trying to find the keys to hit on. And what about you? What about you, Mocha Mimi? What did you think? They seem to be taking this whole thing very amicably. They keep talking about this dang on dog and whatnot and whatnot. What do you think about it?
Yeah, and they were adult. But what got me was when they separated, and she was with her friend talking, and she was talking about him. She didn't say. I don't think she said he was creepy, but she was talking about his sense of humor. Okay, you didn't like his sense of humor.
Yeah,
It's so bizarre.
She started like talking about him all that. First of all, Gina, I hope you do see this video. You are not all that. So you need to calm yourself down. You are boring. The only thing about you is work.
Thank you.
You're boring and you're corny. So you need to stop it. Clint, although some of his stuff may be, it's a time and a place for everything, but at least he was outgoing. At least people liked him. At least he didn't sit there like he was better than, or like you with your duck lips and everything else. So you can shut up. That's what you can do for me. You can shut that up. That's what you can do for me.
Where my zip lips at? Where are my zip lips?
Oh, thank you. Who is this? Denzel. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I got to jump in here. I got to give a plug out. Thank you. Whoever this is, DVZN doesn't division.
That's my baby.
Who is that? Thank you so much. When your baby came to support. See now. Those of y'all watching on the replay, I bet you this person also clicked the like button too. Learn something, learn a thing or two, okay? This is how you support a small channel that's trying to grow and bring you guys good, honest content. We don't have to, we're unbossed. We are unbossed. These ladies right here, Roro and Mocha Mima Media, we are unbossed. We are unbossed. Right. So nobody tell us what to say. We're going to say in this review, you're going to find out some things. But go ahead. You were saying. Thank you so much for that.
I was saying that, Gina, I can't wait to have her off my TV screen. I cannot wait. How many more episodes we got before they're done?
Girl, a good another 4
50, 11.
month.
50, 11.
50, 11, a month worth. Okay, we're going to be here till next year this time. Still talking about duck lip Gina and that goofy. I ain't gonna say nothing about that Shaq guy. I'm holding it in till we get to him because I got a lot to say about his butt. So
I'm like, she's ready for marriage. No, you are not. No, you are not. You're ready to get taken advantage of by the right man. He's gonna take advantage of you. Who's gonna see you on TV and they're gonna take advantage of you. That's about all you're gonna get because you make me sick.
Yeah,
really.
She kind of low down, to be in on what they did to Clint, the way they treated Clint at that last dinner.
Yeah, that was dead wrong.
That was low down.
That was. You don't do that to people.
Yeah, it's gonna come back on her. Watch and see.
Right. And then we'll continue to talk about them. But I mean, what do you guys think though? Too, give me your opinion. Continuing on with you, Mocha. Tell me what you think about Clint's affiliation and his closeness to her dog. Because I'm beginning to think that maybe he should adopt his own dog. Because I think in the end, this is going to end up being a problem with her.
I think that is going to be a problem. Yeah, he does need to get his own dog. Seeing that he has the time for the dog, he can bring the dog to work, and he likes that companionship. I don't understand why he doesn't have a dog. He had said earlier in the season that he wanted a dog. So I don't get why he never had one. Yeah, he had said that. So I couldn't get why he just didn't have one, but maybe now he will get one.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that a few people, and we're gonna find out because Dominique, but we'll talk about her a little bit later too. But it's nothing wrong, if you can have one. I'm telling you, a pet is a great thing to have if you're a single person living alone, because sometimes the only thing that and I know I'm a faith-based person too, but I'm saying sometimes as far as a living creature in your home, sometimes it's such a wonderful welcome to come home and have that pet there, wagging their tail, looking at you, and then it gets you out of your bed because you got to feed them, you got to give them water, you got to do all these things. There's nothing wrong with that. If you can do it, I'm not saying it's for everybody, but it's for a lot of people.
Right.
Yep.
It's for a lot of people. I'm gonna tell you real quick story, true story. My dog that I got for my son when my daughter left and went away to college, and we're in Michigan, so imagine she's at a military school in Maryland at the Naval Academy, and he isn't gonna see her for months and months on end, right? And I got a dog, but that dog one day saved my life. I don't know what was going on with me. I had a temperature. The dog jumped in the bed with me, and the dog, my body had went cold, even though I had blankets on. That dog used their body temperature, their warmth, and stayed on top of me until my fever broke the next day and I was well. And I'm telling you, dogs and pets are a healing thing. I promise you. I promise you. If you need companionship, a pet is one of the best investments that you will ever make, and they do become like family. So I said to Clint, I just concerned that I think that Clint, I'm concerned that Gina is eventually, she's kind of petty, like, because we know she's still holding a grudge from way back at the honeymoon stage. So who's to say she's not going to be petty with Hank, even though clearly Hank loves Clint, right?
Yeah, they're both attached to each other, so she's gonna use that to her advantage. Watch and see. I'm going out of town. You can watch him while I'm gone.
Yep, she sure did. So that's gonna be an issue.
I think it's gonna be an issue. And although I feel sorry for poor Hank, the little dog, being caught in the middle, but I think that it is what it is. But guys, we can all agree whether you think Clint's humor is bizarre or not. Would you ladies agree with me that it is no reason for what's going to happen later on between his wife Gina and that other person, McKinley?
No. Especially how it looked. The like, I won't say the allegations, but
because well, you know what? Let's go ahead and let's kind of talk about it briefly, and we're going to get into it deeper when we get to the couple. But let's kind of talk about it a little bit, because it has me wondering, and I don't know, you ladies tell me what you think. It has me wondering that if Mac was in her DMs on Instagram, her private messaging, it makes me wonder how long he's been in there and what's been going through her mind, because it makes me feel like, you know what? That's the reason why she did not try and give 100% to her husband.
I was thinking the same thing, because if you got somebody on the side, because with women, with cheating with us, they say it starts emotionally.
It does. Typically.
So if you have someone else feeding that emotionally, you don't need for someone that's your husband to do it. If someone else is doing it on the side, and she knows that for her, she could not sneak around with him because the cameras are always around and everything else. So she couldn't sneak around with him, but they could do the Instagram DM thing. They could do that. So, and that's where she's getting her emotional needs fed.
Well, we saw from the previews, she did tell him that when they first saw each other at the honeymoon, that she noticed him first.
Yes.
Yeah. Wasn't that something? So see, right there, that's right there already. Before he even says anything, or even maybe perhaps has an opportunity to go into her DMs, already she is having thoughts that are not related to how am I going to build my marriage? How am I going to grow in my marriage? How am I going to love on my husband so that we do stay together past these 8 weeks? Already her mind is on something else. We see it.
But you know what? That part of that is with this process, because the thing about it is in regular life, you meet someone, you're attracted. The physical is the first thing. You're attracted to someone physically. So of course, when you meet someone and marry them at first sight, and then you get into a group of people and you see someone else that has done the same thing, you may think, well, why couldn't they have hooked me up with them? Well, they wouldn't have known to hook you up with that person or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like she sees him and she's attracted. He might be her type. You know, they may be each other's type. So, I mean, it's kind of like a natural thing, but you have to be an adult and not act on it and know that it's taboo to do that.
Right. And that's the thing I'm going to say in all the world of good looking men and nice men and men that would be your match, they set you up with somebody because they're going, I'm assuming, somewhat by personality. And a lot of things that we saw with Clint and Gina, they do seem to match up. They do have both have business acumen, and he even has a mother who owns her own business and is successful. And I have no doubt how he stood by Gina when she was talking about shop this and shop that, and like as our own beloved Roro says here, having an adulterous affair with her shop, her salon. Oh my God, you got to be kidding me! But he never once complained like many husbands would have done. He supported her. He said, "Okay, well, yeah, what about this and what about that?" When one of her workers quit, he tried to encourage her and support her the whole time. And yet this is the thanks that he gets. And to Stay Tuned Reviews point, Clint should have taken Gina to family court and tried to get custody of Scooby.
Yes, why you gotta be Scooby?
We love you.
Why you gotta be
But you know what? I think out of this, I really think that he is one of the people, one of the few people that came ready to love. Like I said, is he perfect? Was he perfect? No, he wasn't perfect. No. Of course not.
Need to get a filter for his jokes.
His jokes. But you know what? Somebody else. There are plenty of women that are less sensitive. Because let's say this too, though. Let's be realistic. And let's just for a moment, let's consider this. When you're not to Mocha's point, when a person isn't physically attracted, sometimes everything that person does is an annoyance.
Yeah.
You know,
nitpick on everything they do.
Yeah. That's it. Because if Mac had made the exact same jokes and she was feeling Mac and everything else was pleasurable in the bedroom, I bet you she'd have been giggling like a schoolgirl. Come on.
He makes me laugh. You know, that's important.
He makes me laugh. Funny. But that's all right. Let her get back out there in this old pea pool of singleness. Let her get back out there in that pea pool and see how she likes it.
But you know what else to that? Would Mac have been the person that what's his name? Clint is as far as taking care of the dog and doing all the things that Clint did? Is Mac that type of person? The way Clint was?
No, that's a good point. Exactly.
No, Mac didn't want to get off the beach chair. He wanted to sit on the beach instead of going and do fun things with Dominique. Remember? He didn't want to get up off the chair. He wanted to sit around all day at the honeymoon. No, you're too lazy.
Too lazy. I hope Clint gives Dom a nice. Let me get this. I can't trust you. I cannot trust you, boy. But let's go on to our next couple here. We'll go on to them, and that is this couple here. Eris and Jasmine. Now this is part one of 3 actors on this series, would-be actors. This guy right here, what did I tell you guys early on in the first weeks of watching this? I told you my honest opinion was that this guy is an actor. And Eris, I see you just clicked out. That's okay. You can click out my video. I see you just left. That's okay. Because I know you've been watching because you see me over there on Instagram what I'm saying about you. That's okay. Because like I said, we are unbought and unbossed over here at the Actually Aubery channel. But this guy right here, when they first came, now go back. A lot of you people, you cheat yourselves because you don't watch the matchmaking session that comes on back in December. So that's how long this show been on. This is the end of May. This show started in December. Okay, could almost had a baby by now. Okay,
right.
But anyway, back to this guy. This guy right here. I told you guys early on. He's an actor. He's a would-be actor. Yeah, I know they're telling you he's in IT. Yada yada yada. Oh yeah, he's got to have something. Think about it. All the people out in Los Angeles and even in New York, They wait tables. Some of them, if they're smart, they go. I mean, want to get a actual career. They go ahead and get a career, but they're always still grinding, trying to be an actor, a model, a rapper. This guy right here wants to be an actor. I told you this early on. He was always for the streets. I also told you that this production company, they do not like black and brown women. And how I know this is because every single season they give them the worst picks of the worst. This guy right here, a so-called reformed F-boy, and how we know he's not reformed, because what does he do in one of the scenes in this episode? Guys, first of all, we never knew. Now they're gonna tell us that he had a roommate, right? This episode. And the episode, the roommate has a beautiful girlfriend. And what does Eris do? He says, "Oh, yeah, you got anybody for me to meet?" She says, "Well, what kind of woman do you want?" "Oh, I don't care. I don't care if she's short or tall, if she's thick or thin." Now all of a sudden he don't mind thin women.
More thin. Yes.
Yeah. Right. You see how he lies? He's a liar. He's a liar, allegedly. Okay. But never mind what he told us, that he like them thick and big with the big old backside, right? But he says, "Oh yeah, give me any old woman. Just give me any old woman." Because you know why? Because it's been 8 weeks. So you know a man like him, Mr. Perversion here himself. You know what? You know what he's trying to get? The SEX, the hot and heavy time going real quick, fast and in a hurry, fast and in a hurry. That's Eris for you. But Jasmine, to her credit, you know, I hope that she is learning. What I would love to say to Jasmine, if I could talk to her directly, Jasmine, listen to me. You're a beautiful young woman. You know what the assignment is. He's told you privately what he says he'd like to see, or he would have seen differently in you. But this is the thing that I'm telling you, is that don't trust these men. Don't trust these men until they've proven themselves to you. Because yes, you know what? As women, we are still the prize. Oh, you click back in, Eris. Thank you. Come on back in. I'm gonna try to take it easy with you. I see. Oh, you brought your cousin too. Okay. You brought your cousin family, because I see she clicked in too. Okay, fine.
Not cousin need more foundational support. Go ahead.
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah, she clicked in with them too. You know, because you know they together, right? But cousin girlfriend. But yeah. But what was I saying? So to you, Jasmine, I just want you to have, I know you do love yourself, but I want you to have a better sense of yourself. I want you, like you said, that when somebody, first of all, I want you to remember something very important. I was watching a video about narcissists, and one of the first things narcissists do when they meet you, they test you by so-called joking. And this is what Eris did. He was always joking about how you look. He was always joking about the sexual positions that he wanted to tie you up into. But you know what? That's what a lot of narcissists do. They test boundaries by trying to say, "Oh, I'm just joking. Ha, ha, ha." Don't ever let no man or no woman test you by joking. You set your boundary. Well, you know what, sir? That's not for me. That's not for you to know right now. I don't know you well enough to be talking and having that discussion. That's not a first date discussion. And I know you guys were married at first sight, but you still have the right to set your boundaries, even in this show. And great for you for being a woman of substance, because you will meet your prince, you will meet your king. You're gonna have it, and it's gonna be somebody that's not an F boy like Eris. Okay. Trust and believe that. Now, what would you like to tell her, Roro? What would you like to say to young Jasmine?
Well, first of all, listen to Aunt Patricia. Aunt Patricia has now become my, sister, my sister in my head, because, she gave her some good advice. That man did not want to be married, and as far as him being an actor, like what role is he auditioning for? Dead-eye doofus? Come on. I don't understand, what he think he got that we want to see on the big screen. I definitely don't want to see anything he's about, and I also have a different take.
You mean Ant-Man? You mean
Ant-Man? Yes, airball, airhead.
Airball.
I have a different take on him, because he talked about on the after party about how even the roommate, when the roommate's girlfriend, he couldn't get any dates because his roommate Cheese, I think that's his name, Cheese.
Yep, Cheese. Yep.
Cheese said, he didn't approve of any of the women. So he's like, so now I'm back to square one. It's like, okay, something's up with that. Like, if you're so, so hungry, let's put it that way, for anybody, whether she be tall, short, light, dark, thin, thick, as he said it, then why can't you just go out there like you were before?
Mm-hmm.
Something's not right in the water. He may not be the only one that's, riding under the rainbow flag here.
Oh,
I don't know. I
oh,
don't know. But you know what? I said this another thing I said about him. I don't know about the rain, but you never know. You never
Yeah,
know. It's a
I
lot
meant
of
Shaq
videos.
might not be the only one that's riding
We're
under
gonna
the
talk
rainbow
about that.
flag.
We're gonna talk about that flag and that suit.
mm,
But okay. But you know what? But let me tell you this though. But I said this also early on. I don't know if you were on the particular review we did with Kimberly's reviews.
mm.
Also, guys, go over and check her channel out. Awesome lady, also as well as our Mocha Mima Media right here. But
Yep.
I said this early too. I don't know about this one here, Eris. You know, men get into their 40s and even their 30s, and like Kimberly was talking about, because she worked for many years at a urologist office, they sometimes have issues. Catch my drift?
Mm.
Talking about that ED thing, right? Talking
Mm.
about that ED thing. So, all the tricks and tumbles that he was talking about, he was doing. One thing about it, I never met a man that told me all this and that he could do and what he did and what he's done. Those are all the men that talked about that. They were all the men that they didn't have it going on. So I think that's awfully interesting when a guy starts telling you about SEX and how good he is. Don't believe it. Don't even buy it.
Yeah, something's
Something
fishy.
Mhm.
something's fishy. But you were gonna say, Mocha Mimi, you were gonna talk about this couple right here. What did you want to say about them?
I'm glad that they're over and done with. I like the fact that he didn't torch her when they made the decision, and even when they got in the whole big group with everyone, that he said that it was basically it was an amicable decision for the divorce. But
Mm-hmm.
I want Jasmine to know that she deserves better, that she doesn't
Yes.
need to dumb herself down for a man. um
Right.
I really want her to know, like, because remember towards the end, he, like, when she did the stripper thing, he liked that. And if he would have really pushed for it, she probably would have gave it up and everything. Like, girl, you don't have to compromise yourself at all, because after all of that, then he may act like he kind of wanted you because you did something, like you did that, and that's the type of woman he really wanted. Something, I don't know if I'm wording it right. You guys understand where I'm coming from
Yeah, I
with
got
Mm,
that?
you.
With that,
yeah.
when she did that whole stripper thing, then he was like attracted
Oh
to
yeah.
that. Then,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you don't have to do that. You don't have to
Production.
compromise yourself. Yeah,
We're gonna get to we're
yeah,
gonna get with that production and what they think about women, African black women and women, brown women, women of color. Because
yeah,
we're gonna talk about that.
yeah.
Kinetic
She deserves.
content.
You got a lot to offer, Jasmine. You deserve better. So don't
Yes, you
compromise your
do.
That's
principles
right.
for these sorry behind men out here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Amen
Thank
on
you.
that.
Amen. Amen. Let the church say amen. And we're gonna move on to the next couple here. And they're kind of in the mid grade of interesting. This episode, interesting. The wife, I mean, I think they're a good couple for what they are. I think if she can quit obsessing and being so neurotic, I think they actually might just make it. They kind of balance each other out. She's got a lot of heat. He's kind of a laid back type of guy, except where his boundaries are. One thing I noticed about Chris this season, he did surprise me. A lot of people called him weak, but if you actually think about it, when he wanted something, he stuck by it. When
Yeah.
he said that he
Yep.
wasn't moving out his apartment, he ain't moving out his apartment. When he said them two dogs is coming to stay in that apartment, guess who two dogs were there? He is
Mhm.
Yep.
you
Yep.
know so he sometimes people can hide. You think that they're so meek and humble or so laid back, but you know what, you may have they always said, there's a certain strength in some people that are quiet.
Yeah.
So we see that in him. But I don't want to keep talking. Roro, what do you think about this couple here in this episode?
Well, I agree with you. I mean, I never saw Chris as being meek and humble. I saw him as being manipulative and controlling on the down low, on the low down, because, like you said, he's always gotten what he wanted. He's always gotten her to, initiate any kind of major decision, even though he still would, like, okay, I'm going to stick with my grounds, like with the dogs, with not telling her when she wanted to know, if they were going to live together. He was like, we're going to wait. We talked about it, and he didn't want to talk about it on camera, obviously, so I think he's the one that really is the manipulative one.
Okay,
Because she's always saying, well, I don't want to rock the boat. I'm just going to go along with this. She seems to be the one who is submissive and, kind of, going along with the program.
Well, yeah, not in a submissive way, but you're right though, because here's the thing that she recognizes, and kudos to her. She recognizes being the personality that she has. Not a lot of men are gonna put up with that jazz. Now she found the one person on the universe right now that's willing to put up with it publicly, and that is hoping. And I think he has made comments too, though. He has said that he don't intend to live like this forever. So
But
if you listen, the one thing we want to give you advice about is please go seek the help of a therapist and sit on their couch and relax and give your story, because Chris is saying to you, he loves you. He likes a lot of things about you, but like every relationship, nothing is ever perfect, but you need to work on that neuroticism and that always questioning his love. He's not going to put up with that forever. I'm sorry, Mocha, you were about to say something?
You know what? I kind of go with what Roro said, because he could be a sniper from the side. When he did that thing with the money, when he talked to, when she was like, "Oh, do you want to get an account together?" That whole thing right there, I was like, "What?" I was like, I had to rewind that and watch that again. I was like, "What?" What? Because most people would want to get a account together. They each put their money in. That way, they still got their own stuff. You know what I mean? So the whole thing, and he was like, "No" to that. To me, that made no sense. Why wouldn't you both have an account that you put half of with all the bills, and then the bills just get paid out of that one account? That's what I was thinking. You want to control, Chris. Chris wants to control. That's what got me.
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because why not do that? You both have, like, let's say, for instance, you both have, they live in an apartment, they live in Nashville. Okay, let's say they both have $1,200 going into the account, and the $2,400 covers all the household bills. Why not do that? Why not do that instead of her having to pay? Like she said, "Oh, I have to write you a check," or I forget. She said something like she kind of laughed it off.
Yeah, she said the app. Yep.
Yeah. Why would you have to do that? Like,
he wants to be in control.
Yeah, that's a control thing. Are all the bills, are the lights, the gas, the whatever, all going to be in his name? The lease is not going to all be in his name. That's going to be in him and her name. So why would you want to do that?
Yeah, he wants it to look like he's the provider, he's paying the bills. But on the down low, you send me that money in the Cash App, okay? You put your half in that Cash App and send it to me now. But they're going to
you know what? We're going to have to get a panel together for that 50-50 love that everybody's talking about. I ain't down with that crap, but you know what? We need to talk about it, though. That's going to be a whole nother time. That's a very excellent topic, but that's what the young people want to do. Now, I'm going to say
I got a sidebar for you, Aubery. I don't mean to cut you up. I got a sidebar.
Go ahead.
Because you do Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yes, ma'am.
On, what's the show? Couples Retreat, that Jalen Banks, who's with Fallon, remember Fallon Gobadia?
Yeah. Gobadia's
there was a thing on I saw today on Instagram. I guess he's supporting, like, I guess her and all her kids or whatever. He said he's supporting 7 people. I guess he said that on the show, and he's 23 and she's 30 something.
Wait a minute. He's supporting everybody.
I'll send it to you.
You gotta send that, girl.
I'll send that to you. I don't know if y'all in the comments, if you watch Couples Retreat, y'all probably seen it, but I'll send it to you, and you can send it to Roro. But
send it to me because that sounds interesting.
Y'all can follow me, Mocha Mima Media. Say that 3 times fast. On Instagram.
Big time. She big time now, y'all.
Child, just listen. You got to dream it. You got to manifest.
I love it.
Listen, on Instagram, when I saw that, I was like, what? What? Because she was married to Simon. I like saying the name Gobadia. So, and he was rich. So, child, I said, So that comes back to that 50-50 and all that kind of stuff, control and everything else like that. When I saw that in Chris, I was like, I was like,
Yeah.
Chris,
what nerve. Let me pay it in my name, and then you low key send me your half. I don't like that.
But you know what? She said that he's gonna get tired of that. If you notice at the end, she said, but he gonna get tired of that. Just watch and see. So like it's gonna be a battle. I think the thing about these two is that she is very overbearing. And that's the thing I don't like about her, because it's not to say that women can't be assertive or have their opinion within a relationship and certainly within a marriage, but she's very overbearing. And I think Chris is letting her know, no matter how loud and overbearing you may act, and I hate that she keeps blaming that on her Italian mother side, because I honest to God feel like that come from her daddy's side. Okay, like quit playing with us, and quit trying to call make the stereotype that all Italian people are overbearing. You get that from your dad, because we've seen your dad. We've seen when your dad even said that your husband didn't have BDE, big D energy, right? Yep. Okay. So we already see who your dad is. And actually, I think a lot of your resentment toward men comes from your relationship with your dad. Like I said, go ahead and sit down, lay down on that couch and pour out your heart and pour out your copay, because you'll be a better person for it after a while. Trust and believe that. That's my advice to her. But we're going to proceed on to our next. And this is where we really get hot and heavy, because we're getting ready to really talk about these people. This couple, we haven't seen them for weeks and weeks and months, because they stopped loving each other at the very beginning. I'm going to take this comment off so we can kind of see that a little bit. We saw that they stopped loving on each other way back when. Oh, I see you guys got comments for me, but I'm toggling back and forth. I will be over there to share your comments and talk about your comments in just a second. And that is Mac and Dominique. Now, Mac and Dominique, they said no to one another because, first of all, let's be realistic. Dominique said no to his low maintenance behind, because what kind of man, as the song says, what kind of man would I be if I'm going to bring this woman in and she going to live with me at my friend's parents' basement that don't even have a door to close, so we can have hot and heavy time together and not wake the folks up. Okay, we're gonna be down there and she gonna be saying, "Ooh, daddy," and the papa from upstairs, he gonna be coming downstairs to try to sneak a peek and look at her brown behind. Okay, no, sir.
Boy, she took it all the way.
We ain't going there. I'm telling you, in 2023, black and brown women have choices. We got options, baby. And just because you got the complexion for the correction and whatever how the expression go, the complexion for the what? You know what I'm trying to say. But
she gave us the full description.
Girl, and wait a minute, and your mama looked at her on the wedding day. We done all seen that look before. Now, other commentators here on the YouTube streets can say what they want to say, but we saw what we saw.
I saw it.
In your mama's eyes. Your mama said, "I don't want no Negro blood in my family," just like the Queen of England and the rest of them folks over there in the UK. We don't want no black blood ruining our family line. Needless to say, I guess they don't know that it's already there, because black people were the first people on the planet, baby. Okay?
Ooh,
all right. So now back to this couple. We saw your
mama.
It, Mocha.
Wait. Aubery. Aubery, I need for you to stop. I need for you to stop. I need for you to breathe, because you're going to pass out.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead. While you got the mic, Mocha, go ahead and talk about this couple. Talk about making that house that he was going to buy, that his best friend busted him out and said, "This is way over your dang on budget, and it got way too much land for you and your dog." Okay. Talk about this liar. Talk about this liar allegedly.
Mac, don't play in my face like that, because I've been to Nashville. I'll come back down there for the house to come around and to punch you right in the face. Don't play with me like that. You know you cannot afford the house with that pool. Only house you could afford is something small, a little modified trailer home with a mini pool from Walmart. Knock it off.
And I got something to say about that house.
I said, "Oh, heck." No, I ain't say heck, but I said, "Oh, I know."
You said the other word, I know.
Yes, and you see Kirsten. I said, "Oh, Kirsten ain't even show up." Like, come on now.
Kirsten, Kirsten said, "I got time for my real customers only." Okay, not these fake cosmetic content, allegedly customers that ain't buying nothing. And by the way, I believe that the owner of that home obviously was at home and they opened the door and let that guy in, obviously, because we didn't even see a lockbox. Okay,
no, I know. That's what I said. Oh, Kirsten said, "Oh, the door's locked." First of all, no, that was an Airbnb. You've already been there, or like I said, the owner was there. They gave the owner some money. The owner probably has the house up for sale, and they gave the owner some money so they could come in there and look through the house. That's number one. Number two, Mac. I'm not crazy about Dominique, but know what? It's not your business that she got a dog. Mind your freaking business. She's divorced from you. If she got a dog, that's her dog. Don't worry about it. Hey. Like the little boy said, don't worry about it, sweetheart. Don't worry about it.
I mean, and what kind of grouch? This is what I want to say. What kind of grouch gets so upset that somebody has a dog? You ain't got to walk. What is you worrying about it for? Why don't you concentrate on Gina? Oh, we're going to get to that in a second. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Roro.
Yeah, concentrate on that and trying to keep your face from turning so red after 4 or 50 drinks.
Because we know you got a drinking problem. I already peeped that out, Mr. Actor Man from California.
But that house was not on the market, because what really made me know it for sure, aside from the door, just being open, you got a house like that, just randomly, the doors just randomly open. But also when he went in and he said, these pictures are creeping me out. Remember that he said that? Mm-hmm. You don't put, when you got a house on the market, you don't put personal pictures on the wall.
Right. You don't keep them up. You don't keep them up on the wall.
You take them off the wall. In other words, you take them down, because that will turn people off. They don't want to see your family pictures. They just barely want to see anything on the walls. Maybe you have one or two little things, but not personal family pictures.
Right.
So that was probably one of the producer's house, or they went in the neighborhood, like you said, and saw a nice house and, paid the owner some money to come in there. And let them come in there like that. But yeah, I agree. Why was he getting all bent out of shape about Dominique buying a dog? I mean, getting a dog. So what? It shouldn't matter to him at all. Nothing she does should matter to him. They're done. He's all over in Gina's DM. So let him worry about
let's talk about
Gina's
that.
dog.
He's over in Gina's DMs. Right. Exactly. How you gonna be over in Gina's DMs and she got a whole husband and you've been in her DMs, I'm sure, probably since the honeymoon over there.
And laughing in her husband's face.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like you're his friend. Like you're his friend.
Ooh, he is really low. Snake. He is really low. Yeah, a real snake in the grass. That's what they should have named him, the snake. And I just don't like it. I think that it was terrible the way he behaved at that last dinner together. And I still think that they're not telling us something that happened before they got that divorce, especially the last day that Pastor Cal came over there and Dominique said that he had just been speaking horrible things to her, but they didn't show that. All they showed was what Dominique did. Yes. And to me, I still don't understand what she did. That was so bad. She just wanted to have fun on her honeymoon. She's a young woman. She wanted to have fun on her honeymoon. So people were saying she was immature, but you got a free trip to a nice place, a beautiful place, and you got a chance to do things. Obviously, he was acting like a stick in the mud, talking about he just want to sit on the beach. Who wants to go to a nice place like that and just sit on the beach?
At their age, like me at my age, I might want to just sit on the beach. I'm gonna do a little hang gliding or something too, but I might want to just sit on the beach. But I'm twice their age, okay?
That's what?
Come on now.
Yes, so I don't, but she was mature enough to, talk about finances and how they're going to manage things and what they're going to do in the future, and so what's wrong with that? I still don't understand what Dominique did that was so wrong, but that's just me.
No, because as a Black woman, she's not allowed to have standards. She's not allowed, even though she has a college degree and a whole career. And what does Mac have? Mac says that he's an entrepreneur. He says that he has a cannabis business, but he happens to live in a state where cannabis is not legal. He's an actor. He came out of California right along with Eris. He's an actor. And we're going to get to that third actor with our next couple because I just found this one out this morning that he's an actor too. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
But get back to the what we got to talk about. We got to bring Nicole back into this for a second. We got to bring Nicole back into this just for a half a second because Nicole, this lady right here, this woman right here on this man's arm, this woman right here, she brought Mac at the table at the final dinner. She brought Mac into this whole situation and said, okay, Mac, yeah, well, Mac, what about Mac and Gina getting together? I'm sure nobody would mind. What do you think Clint was over there sitting there feeling like? I mean, like, what did Clint do this whole season to require this kind of venom and this kind of backstabbery? I think I just made up a word, backstabbery.
I love it.
What did he do besides, yeah, his humor might be a little bit off, it might be a little racy or colorful, right? But other than that, that doesn't rise to the occasion that you would backstab this man. And I don't know if she told her husband she was going to do this, but her husband, as the man and the leader of the family, he ought to be ashamed of her. He should have taken her privately at home, and he should have gave her a good talking to, because how dare you do this to my friend? How dare you do this to a person I'm trying to build a relationship and a friendship with, and you come back and stab this guy in the back in front of everybody, which is totally embarrassing.
Yeah,
what did you guys think about that, bro?
She was just too confident in saying that. It's like she had been planning this. She and Gina had been planning this mess. It had been planned because why would you just be so confident? Oh well, Mac, since well, let's just get it on out here. Just go for it, Mac, and not even consider Clint, who's someone she called a friend. Because when you're a married couple, then you both are, you're the same. You're the same. So you're friends. You can't just be friends with the wife and not friends with the husband, that you're hanging around. So she called this man a friend, and she's going to do that to him. That was dirty. That was dirty.
Yeah, it was dirty. I'm sorry. I wasn't laughing at what you were saying. I was laughing at these J-Dub comments. Says Mac has a whole imaginary business. Exactly. And we ain't going to talk about him being the black sheep of his family, but that's a whole nother thing. All his siblings got master's degree. He couldn't even finish a bachelor's. Get out of here. You got every right of privilege. Every right of privilege that you had, and you just chucked it to the wind. And then when you get with this black girl, you want her, expect her to live in somebody's basement that doesn't even have a door, and you want to laugh at how he at her apartment saying it was basic and minimal. Well, at least she has something that belongs to her, that's in her name, that she pays the bills on every month. What do you have?
Street pharmaceuticals.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, girl, street. Go ahead. You were gonna say, Mocha, before we get to our final couple.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
About Mac, or maybe about I'm sorry, was that the final couple? We were on somebody else. I'm getting twisted around. That was it. That was our second couple.
I was saying that J-Dub is a mess. J-Dub is a mess.
Oh yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Nephew.
Well, what did you think about? What did you think about the house? What did you think about that whole house scene that he was trying to say, like that was, he's looking at a house, but his friend told him off and said, well, yeah, you know what, this is over your budget anyway, the yard is too big, and oh yeah, I hope that one day you'll have a wife and some kids.
Production, all lies.
Yeah, it's mighty convenient that now all of a sudden, he was always planning to settle down in Nashville, right? Yeah, very conveniently. Just trying to make himself look good. And, it's too late. We got you. Yeah. We already figured you out. We're on to you.
That whole thing when Nicole did that was dead wrong. That was wrong. Really wrong to do that.
But you know what? But I'm going to tell you something. Now, if somebody had did that, if for whatever reason, Chris had said no to her, if somebody had did that to her, oh my gosh, she would have turned over the table.
That's what she said. She would have flipped the chairs.
But she would have did it all in vain, because Chris, we know one thing about Chris: when he made up his mind, he'd have made up his mind. So she would have did it in vain. But that's all right though, because you know what? What comes around, what goes around comes around. That's what my mama used to always say. But now, let's go ahead and get into it. And I'm gonna save myself for last, because I got a whole diatribe on this couple right here. Right here. Now
Listen,
we see Shaq. We saw. Go ahead, Mocha, and I'm gonna point out. Go ahead. Go ahead.
it's Sunday, it's the Lord's day, and I
Oh,
don't want to cuss. I don't want to cuss. But
we're a
Shaq,
PG-13 channel, but I tell you
Shaq,
what, sometimes I might chuck it all in today, though.
Shaq, you beep 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 beep. We was rooting for you, like Tyra Banks says.
Not me.
Yes, we were. We were rooting for you.
How you gonna play this black woman on national TV, chat? How you gonna listen?
Oh yeah.
How you go, Shaq? Go ahead, Roro, because I'm getting mad.
I'm gonna have to read my notes because if I say what I'm thinking, it's gonna be rough.
I'll just give you some examples or two if you want to. You can go with your notes. But I was gonna say too. So what do we think about Shaq? He's doing Muay Thai now. You know, he's doing Muay Thai. They had him in a whole scene trying to make him look masculine, and all I saw was just a wimp. I just saw a wimp. I saw a wimp and a coward. I saw a wimp and a coward.
I think he enjoyed that last scene where, you know, he was laying on behind the guy on the floor.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Okay,
He looked like he enjoyed it. He was really
Continue on with your notes. Continue on with your notes.
Oh, okay. See, I told you to read my notes.
Yeah, move on to the next part of your notes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, well,
see, you brought that up. I didn't even write about that.
Right. But go ahead.
Well, you know, he said he went on to, you know, tell us, and with such joy on his face, you know, how he has been there for Kirsten since day one. He really hopes she can respect his decision. He feels, you know, he says his heart wasn't at peace with, you know, that he and Kirsten could stay together for a lifetime. You know, he hopes she doesn't have any hard feelings for him. He doesn't have the first thought about what to do going forward from here. He said that they both were intentional. They both showed up. They both did the assignments that they were given, but something was just missing. You know?
Yeah, like yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you know, to me, I say, you know, foul, fake, phony. None of that makes any sense. Okay, how does it make sense when you think about it? You're the one who said no. You're the one who said no, but you're trying to make it as if she did something wrong. You know, the girl gave you everything you asked for and plus some.
Then some.
Yes.
You know, because I would have ran for the hills where my help cometh when he would have been slapping that paint on me like that, the way he was slapping it on. Like
nothing sexy, nothing sensual about it at all.
No,
just
we
like
won't even
a
talk
guy
about
who
the
doesn't even like women. Like I'm just gonna slap this on you because you're not my preference.
Yeah, and you know, when he came outside with, like, you know I said it, but I'll just think of another way to put it, that rainbow delight suit. You know, I think he was trying to tell us all something. You know, and you know, he was hoping that his DMs would fill up, but not the traditional way. Not with the traditional people.
Yeah.
You know,
a batch.
That his DM was full of DM.
You know, I got him. I read him because, you know, how you gonna be over there crying?
Yes, you did.
How you gonna be over there smirking and laughing and then crying? That don't make any sense. None of what he did at decision day and afterwards made any sense. Nothing. It just just craziness, you know, just
crazy.
Ludicrous.
Get
out of here. I'm, you know, I'm not even a cursor, but they about to make me regress. I'm about to regress. Okay, somebody else go.
Then he gonna try to play in our face when they was all meeting up together and say all that stuff, and then he's like expecting her to be over it. Of course, you just embarrassed her on national TV, and you think she's just gonna be over it like that? And but she let him know when they're like, oh well, maybe later. She's like, no. She's like,
And then,
no.
and I'm gonna go a step further, because a lot of people, I think a lot of content creators caught and felt like Kirsten was in her pride. But if you guys stop for a second, those of you that said that she didn't do anything until the last few weeks, that's BS. Yep. Go back and look. I guarantee you, go back and look. Yes, for the first couple of weeks, which of course for us viewers and content creators, it gets stretched out into like maybe 4 weeks, 5 weeks. But it's actually their first couple of weeks, because you can look at the date line, the stamp that they put on it that says day 1 of whatever, day 2, day 3, whatever, right? Okay. Or so many days left until decision day. It was early on that she felt she had her guards up, and she told them that she wasn't looking for a bald-headed guy. They gave her a bald-headed guy. Right. But I'm gonna give you worse. They gave her a guy that's not as it's Dub, as it's J Dub says. I believe it's my opinion. It's my opinion that a person that's not living in their truth, and once again, they did it intentionally. Why? Because there's a narrative that this production company is trying to represent a narrative. They're trying to force feed us about Black and brown women. You could be Mirla, you could be Kirsten. They do not want you to win. They want to force feed us this stuff and put it down our throat with guys that are dusties, guys like him. They say, well, oh, he's already about to get a PhD. So what? Anybody ever heard of an educated fool? That's Shaq. Shaq is an educated fool. Because if you tell me that you're looking for a wife, and then 8 weeks go by, and you've had some ups and some downs like most people have in a 8-year marriage, in an 18-year marriage, in a 50-year marriage. I got godparents been married for 75 years. You trying to tell me they're not going to go through some ups and downs? What did he tell her right before they went into decision day? He looked Kirsten in the eye and he said, I've got to be 100% sure. Who the hell is 100% sure? If it's not God Almighty, you ain't going to be 100% sure. I want to know one person, your mom and dad included, that you're 100% sure about every time they do something. It's not Shaq. It's not Kirsten. You met somebody as a stranger. Guess what? You didn't have the ability to compromise. And while you're busy talking about all your needs and your desires being fulfilled, what did you ever do for her? We saw you come into that house and not even greet your wife. We saw her talk to you. You wouldn't even speak to her. And you're trying to tell me, oh, wait a minute, I got to get to my notes. Okay, I'm gonna go through this with you guys. So stick around. Hold on a minute. All right, we're gonna tear down this fourth wall that's better known as production. They have an agenda to portray Black women in a certain manner, and to try in a secular world to give us biblical principles. Okay, hold on. Notes just disappeared. Satan, I bind you in the name of Jesus. That's all right. We're gonna get through this. We're going to get through this. They want to try to portray this as the biblical principles of people that are unequally yoked, to try to continue to paint the narrative that the last group of persons, Black women, will remain subjugated to women, to men, to Black men or other persons. The principle is bull crap. And Shaq, the man who came dressed in a symbolic rainbow coalition suit, wants us to believe that he gave his all to Kirsten every single day he showed up. And that when they came with their own night cam and footage and they showed us him constantly coming home late, God knows where he was or what he was doing, not greeting his wife, not showing affection, but yet he was the one who felt alone. Further, we saw him in the group always fawning for attention, neglecting his own mental health. The fact that he's clearly been coddled by his mother, neglected by a father who was never there, yet he doesn't know how to be the man that she needs. Well, guess what, Shaq? You were absolutely right, because you have proven yourself to be an educated fool who does not know how to lead by example or how to compromise, how to give love. And yet in your selfish delusion, your lies to the viewers. Example, you told us that Kirsten was one way in front of the camera and another when the cameras were off. But guess what? You must have been projecting, because you didn't know we were going to see those night cams. Because from my seat, it's Kirsten who had only a few weeks of unease, as many women would have had when they meet a stranger and marry a stranger. But did you ever try to attend to her needs? No. because you and she became intimate and you didn't even want us to know it. Why we, the viewers, did not know it? Because you remind me of another MAFS husband, i.e. Ryan and Claire. Same thing going on there. There's a man who is also suspect, but you, Shaq, you're a farce. And Pastor Cal is correct that you would not do any better than Kirsten. And let's be clear, the pastor wasn't speaking to Kirsten, wasn't speaking to her beauty, but he was speaking to her character and her inner ability, her her ability not to be petty, something you know nothing about, her inner beauty and her light, something you tried to dim. But you know what, Shaq? There's someone I want you to meet. Her name is Lasha Quilla. And guess what? She is the bus driver. Deuces, baby, deuces.
Woo!
Yes, yes. Right on, sister. Right on. You said it. You said it. I'm with you right there. I got a question though.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, do anybody remember that dance called the Sophisticated Sissy?
Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord.
Yes. That just came to mind for some reason when I saw that suit.
That's all right. We on our way out of here. Say bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Shaq. Remember the bus driver, Lush and Quilla.